Welcome back. We're talking about geocaching with the family with Andy Hard Hat Smith, and this is such a great family activity. And we just looked at a video of Andy and your brother and a couple of nephews. Was that what that was?
Yeah, my brother Scott, my brother David, and my nephews Zachary, Aaron, and Noah.
There you go. So you had a regular gang going out there, and what I noticed, of course, was especially when they opened up that cache at the end of that last video. You know, one of the older boys said, you know, logbook. They just really turned it into kind of like an exercising organization, and it was fun to see the little guy who I don't know which one he was. The little guy just kind of get excited about wanting to get close to that cache and look at the swag. So you know, it's just so much.
Yeah,
nice
that was
stuff
Noah. And you see that a lot with kids. It's great. They have that curiosity first, and then they have that expectation.
Right.
And boy, oh boy, I'll tell you what, if there's something in there that catches their eye, they really light up.
That's right. That's great. Well, what we have next here is a video with it's two young ladies, and is it their mom that is with them?
Yeah, this is the Frey Girls. Now, the Frey Girls in the North Carolina area are extremely well known. They're from the Wilmington area, so a lot of the stuff that if you see me do by the beach, a lot of times I will meet up with the Frey Girls and a lot of people on the East Coast to do some filming, and they're just a great set of people to go geocaching with.
And now this particular trip that you took with them, or the particular day that you spent with them, was when?
This was about earlier in springs, and what was unique about this area in particular, there is a trail off of Fort Fisher that has literally 4 completely different type of terrains that you can walk on, and it's about a 2.5 mile walk. You get to really see some beautiful things, some amazing scenery, some amazing wildlife, and in this particular case, a geocache or two.
Right. Well, here this is a couple 3 minutes worth of a video from that episode that you spent with them. So let's take a look.
Welcome to Wilmington, North Carolina, right off the ocean. Today we're going to meet up with the Frey Girls, Michelle, Catherine, and Charlotte. Amazing geocachers who are going to take us on a 1-mile hike to an ultimate geocache. I was able to catch up with them and ask them some questions. Here's what they had to say. How long, Michelle, have you guys been geocaching?
We've been geocaching for, 6 years.
Wow. And roughly, how many geocaches have you found?
Oh, well over 1,000.
Wow. That's excellent.
Yeah.
One quick note is that Michelle is an amazing photographer. Check out this shot. Now, what area are you from, and where area do you like to geocache?
Well, we live in Wilmington, which is right along the Cape Fear River. So we're lucky we have lots of nice watery spots to look for caches.
Now, when you go geocaching, what kind of stuff do you take? How do you prepare as far as going? Do you just grab and go? What kind of stuff? First aid kit, that's a good one.
We wish sometimes. I don't know, it varies. We're not the most organized.
No.
Would you say?
It's more just like, oh, we need this, we need this, we need this. Let's go.
We definitely bring a poking stick because we've learned the hard way that caches and snakes like to hide in the same places. What else? GPS?
Water bottles.
Water.
Okay, what kind of food and stuff?
Food.
Water.
Water?
Yeah, we're kind of bare bones here.
Yeah.
Water.
No, I usually try and have like a bag of pretzels and some water just in case.
Now, this geocaching hide has a lot of background to it. A hermit lived in this World War II bunker and also died in it years ago. So there's the creep factor. Very cool. We just had to investigate the bunker and see then where the geocache was and see if we could actually find that as well.
That's awesome.
As you can see here, the outside, they actually have information about the hermit. I just had to go in and take a look. Awesome. Holy cow, this is great. Go ahead. After a quick look around, it was time to leave and see if we could find the geocache that was somewhere nearby. Here Charlotte's taking a look, and it looks like she did. She found it. The girls come up to investigate. Let's see what it was. From the looks of it, it looks like it's a pretzel container. Here you can see Michelle with the logbook. After signing it, they trade some swag. Lots of swag to look at. And Catherine puts it back in its place. What a great find.
Yeah, that is a heck of a lot of fun there, and they look like they really enjoy it. Well, after if they've got 1,000 caches found, they must enjoy it, right?
Oh yeah, they have just tore up the Wilmington and the northern end of South Carolina area. They've really made a name for themselves, and they're just wonderful people to go geocaching with. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you what, just to tell you how the geocaching community is, they are the first persons to say, "Hey, anytime you come down, look them up. They'll go out geocaching with you."
That's great. That's great. And I assume that they haven't found everything down there, even at 1,000 geocaches.
Oh, no, there's always plenty more to find, but I'll tell you what, they got a pretty good dent in the Wilmington area.
Probably. Well, then you fan out, or, obviously more geocaches are being placed all the time.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that it is a continuous cycle. Mm-hmm. A lot of times, one of the cool things is if you do kind of get tired of geocaching in one particular area, which RVers may not have as much of a problem, you go geocaching someplace else.
That's right. Hey, one of the things that you brought up, you were talking to them about food, and the first, I was interesting that the one girl, and I don't know the name, I can't remember the name of the girl, the specific one that mentioned first aid kit was like her number one thing to remember to bring.
I'll tell you what, one of the things that happens when you go geocaching, no matter what terrain you are, things happen. You get scraped, you get insects, you get all sorts of different things, and it's always important to keep a first aid kit, especially when you have kids.
Yeah, and then, of course, there's all that healthy food that geocachers like to bring along, right?
Oh, yes, they're always so very much into
and I'm
health.
looking at this. I'm looking at this survey that you did a while back of geocachers and their favorite foods, and this I can't show this particular graph can't show on television because just the type is too fine. But of course, the number one thing is water, and that's smart because you're walking, and in some areas it can be a little deceptive. You may be getting dehydrated and you don't realize it. So sometimes you should just be drinking water just because, especially say
I would say all the time.
Yeah.
Especially people just think of it when it's hot out. But it also is just as effective when it's cold out. So if you're going to do any type of walking, always keep yourself hydrated.
That's right. So that was the number one thing here. And then next was some of these energy and health bars, which some of them may or may not be. I mean, you have to kind of watch what you're getting there. They're pretty much a carbohydrate and protein shot, aren't they?
Yeah, and those are just important just to keep the energy going, because if you are doing hiking or a lot of walking when you do geocaching, it's so important to keep that energy level up. And those are just a quick way of getting that fast sugar in so that you can continue on without getting nauseous or feeling ill because of not having enough energy in your body.
That's right. Yeah, of course, then we go to jerky, and then you got candy, nuts, dried fruits, Gatorade, which always gives you a boost, chips.
Yeah, now you're starting to get into the junk food side of things. And you know what? A lot of times geocachers, they want to eat healthy, but what are you going to do? They want those fun snacks too. And this is just an example that's popular on this list. That geocachers are going to eat the junk too.
That's right. Yeah. Well, you've got down to now. Tell me about. I know a little bit about this, but not a lot. There's something called GORP, which I think is a very strange name for something.
Interesting name, isn't it? And I believe that's a bit of a territorial type thing. But from what I understand, GORP is kind of like your own trail mix kind of situation that's made up, and in certain areas. It's kind of like, I would say your spaghetti sauce. Everybody has their own set of flavors for it. Same thing with Gorp.
Okay, well that was so yes, and I know that bicyclists who do like long distance bicycling or something have some of that as well. Alcoholic beverages was kind of down the list, but it is there.
Well, you got to enjoy your libations every once in a while, but as long as you're playing it smart when you do it.
That's right. That's true. I think that it may be something that you may want to avoid, at least while you're doing the hiking and walking, and especially with kids. But anyway, and then
wait till the geocaching's over.
Wait till the geocaching. That's the pop one when the day of geocaching is over and you're going to tell stories.
That's right.
Krispy Kremes, of course, that's perfectly okay.
I'll tell you what, I got a big kick out of that, but hey, high sugar, what are you going to do?
There you go. Okay. Well, anyhow, you've got this. This is on a post in your on your website, isn't it?
Yeah, if you go on to my website, just Google Head Hard Hat Space Blog. Go into my geocache. I'm not obsessed, right?
Right.
And go into there on the right-hand side. You're going to find what geocachers eat on the right-hand side.
Okay.
Click on the link, and you'll get all this information.
All right, great. Yeah, it's just kind of it is kind of interesting, and it is not intended as necessarily as recommendations. It just gives you an idea of what people are carrying. Okay, well,
Yep.
great. We have another family outing to look at in our next segment, so don't go away. We'll be right back on Geocaching World. Got a question or a comment about geocaching? Send it to geocache@rvnn.tv or leave us a voicemail at 877-578-RVNN, extension 714. Tell us about a cache you especially enjoyed finding, and we may feature it in an upcoming episode. Follow RV Newsnet on Facebook and Twitter, and you can receive text messages to alert you when we're streaming live by texting RVNN to 72727. That way, you can join us live in the chat room, ask questions, and become part of the RV Newsnet family. Remember, any photos or other material submitted to us become the property of RV Newsnet and cannot be returned. For more TV like this from the world of RVs, head to RVNN.com.